Deep within the heart of Australia's wild, untamed landscapes, a legend stirs. Legend so captivating and spine-tingling that it has become a part of the country's rich folklore, passed down through generations. Legend speaks of an elusive creature, the Yowie. Yowie is one of several names for an Australian folklore entity that is reputed to live in the outback. The creature has its roots in Aboriginal oral history. In parts of Queensland, they are known as Quinkin, or as a type of Quinkin, and as Jugabina. In parts of New South Wales, they are called Gindaring, Jurawara, Mingawin, Putikan, Dulaga, Gulaga, and Thulagal. Names include Yowie, Nokuna, Wawi, Pankalangu, Jimbra, and Changara. Creatures are common in Aboriginal Australian legends, particularly in the eastern Australian states. The Yowie is usually described as a hairy and ape-like creature standing upright at between 2.1 meters, 6 feet 11 inches, and 3.6 meters, 12 feet. The Yowie's feet are described as much larger than a human's, but alleged Yowie tracks are inconsistent in shape and toe number, and the descriptions of Yowie foot and footprints provided by Yowie witnesses are even more varied than those of Bigfoot. Behaviorally, some report the Yowie as timid or shy. Others describe the Yowie as sometimes violent or aggressive. The origin of the name Yowie to describe unidentified Australian hominids is unclear. The term was in use in 1875 among the Kamilaroi people and documented in Reverend William Ridley's Kamilaroi and Other Australian Languages. Yowie is a spirit that roams over the earth at night. Some modern writers suggested that it arose through Aboriginal legends of the Yowie. Robert Holden recounts several stories that support this from the 19th century, including this European account from 1842. The natives of Australia believe in the Yowie, this being they describe as resembling a man of nearly the same height, with long white hair hanging down from the head over the features, the arms as extraordinarily long, furnished at the extremities with great talons, and the feet turned backwards, so that, on flying from man, the imprint of the foot appears as if the being had traveled in the opposite direction. They describe it as a hideous monster of an unearthly character and ape-like appearance. Another anecdote about the name, accumulated from an Aboriginal source, suggests that the creature is a part of the Dreamtime. Old Bungaree, a Gunnedah Aboriginal, stated at one point there were tribes of them and they were the original inhabitants of the country. He claimed they were the old race of blacks, and the blacks used to engage in combat, and the blacks emerged victorious most of the time, but the Yowie always managed to escape from the blacks, being usually a faster runner. In a 1987 column in the Sydney Morning Herald, columnist Margaret Jones wrote that the first Australian Yowie sighting was said to have taken place as early as 1795. In the 1850s, accounts of indigenous apes appeared in the Australian Town and Country Journal. The earliest account in November 1876 asked readers, "Who has not heard, from the earliest settlement of the colony, the blacks speaking of some unearthly animal or inhuman creature, namely the Yahoo Devil or hairy man of the wood?" In an article entitled "Australian Apes," appearing 6 years later, amateur naturalist Henry James McCooey claimed to have seen an indigenous ape on the south coast of New South Wales, between Bateman's Bay and Ulladulla. "A few days ago I saw one of these strange creatures on the coast between Bateman's Bay and Ulladulla. I should think that if it were standing perfectly upright, it would be nearly 5 feet high. It was tailless and covered with very long black hair, which was of a dirty red or snuff color about the throat and breast. Its eyes, which were small and restless, were partly hidden by matted hair that covered its head. I threw a stone at the animal, whereupon it immediately rushed off." McCooey offered to capture an ape for the Australian Museum for £40. According to Robert Holden, a second outbreak of reported ape sightings appeared in 1912. The Yowie appeared in Donald Friend's Hillendiana, a collection of writings about the goldfields near Hill End in New South Wales. Friend refers to the Yowie as a species of bunyip. Holden also cites the appearance of the Yowie in a number of Australian tall stories in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. An avid researcher into sightings of Australia's ancient, rare and possibly mythical creatures was Rex Gilroy, who died in April 2023. The renowned cryptozoologist was known all over the country for his studies into the yowies, sea serpents and big cats that are said to have once roamed the Australian landscape. Some say they still do. Over the decades, he amassed thousands of reports of Yowie sightings dating from 1788 to the present day, and went on to establish the Hominid Research Center. A link to his Yowie research website can be found in the comments of this video, and I'd encourage listeners to visit the site and view the extensive material and information available there. During one trip to Shoalhaven in 2012, he told the South Coast Register about some local Yowie reports. "We have some very good leads from the localities we will be investigating, including recent sightings, claims, and apparent freshly abandoned campsites, where stone tools have been found in the Morton National Park," Mr. Gilroy said. "Hopefully this time we will obtain good physical evidence proving these primitive hominids exist," he said. On that occasion, Mr. Gilroy was on the lookout for the Nerriga giant, after hikers reported finding huge footprints near a Shoalhaven River location, similar to fossilized footprints found in the Blue Mountains and Budawang Range. Also on his radar for that visit in 2012 was a 1.5-meter tall, hairy female hominid and small child that were claimed to have been seen by campers in Wandandian mountain wilderness. On a pre-expedition visit to the area, Rex said he and his wife Heather found recently made crude stone tools. Tim, the Yowie man, who writes a popular column, has paid tribute to Rex Gilroy. Rex leaves a last legacy of an unprecedented contribution to the Australian cryptozoological world, not just Yowies, but more broadly including thylacines, sea serpents, big cats, and much more, Tim said. A lifetime of research, passion, and dedication to the cause. Rex, I dip my hat to you. If you've made it this far into the video, I thank you. Please like and subscribe to the channel as it really helps the channel to grow.